Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and this is page 2 for project 1 in the In Full Bloom Close to My Heart scrapbooking workshop. So you guys saw layout 1. I think it was on the 3rd, I want to say. I'm not sure. A couple days before now, and now I'm doing layout 2. So I'm pretty much using the scraps from that first layout to make this layout. In their original design, you're using the full 12 by 12 of this newsprint with the floral, but because I gutted it from my first page because so much was going to be covered by this other newsprint with the camera, I actually have a full 12 by 12 left over already this month, so I'm excited about that. That means when I finish these 3 layouts from the workbook, I'll definitely be able to get in a few extra layouts, which is fun. I just pieced together those 2 pieces on another black cardstock from my stash. That's just the cheap black cardstock. They do have black cardstock that they send you in this collection, but it's really nice black cardstock, and I want to use it for matting the way that they did. So I'm using the cheap black cardstock for that teeny skinny frame around the edge. But now that I have that done, I did the mixed media with my Heidi Swap mint texture paste on this layout basically the same time I did the first page, so that's already on the page. I just did that mixed media where they did it on their layout, and now I'm going to map my photos. They had 2 4x4s on their layout, and I have 2 4x6s. I do still want to keep them a little bit longer because I don't want to cut out too much of the photos because I don't want to be cutting too much into them. But I am going to trim them down a little bit so I have some room to mat them. So I have a couple photos of my mom and Avery. The first one was just hysterical. I knew I had to scrap it because he just looks so chubby. There is something about baby rolls that just, you just want to squish them. And that one is just like, he just looks so chubby in that picture with all his little rolls. So I needed to make sure I scrapbooked that one. But the other one's just a cuter one of like my mom and Avery snuggling. So I just trimmed them down a smidgen so I could mat them. They matted them both all the way around in this teal cardstock, but I decided to mat them together on the teal, but not smushed all the way together, so you still saw that teal color between the photos. But then I decided to go ahead and matte the teal in a skinny black. So I like how that looks. I like that extra black. And you can see because of how I did that, I actually only need a little bit of this film strip floral from the sticker sheet. They use that entire 12-inch sticker running top to bottom, but I know my photo is going to be covering up most of it, so I really only need a couple inches of that film strip sticker. So I'm saving the rest of that, and that's an ephemera bit I know I can use when I get to kind of doing my own pages after I do all the workshop pages. Because I did ink around the edge on the last layout, I'm going to go ahead and do that now as well with my Distress ink. This is the peeled paint. This green is perfect with this collection, and I'm really glad I have the green ink because I'm using the more blue mixed media. So that worked out really well and was completely by accident. But I'm going ahead and inking all of that, and then I really get to play with embellishment. I love on this page how the background paper already has a focal point that's very textural with lots of layers, and I really like the way they took their ephemera and just layered it on top of that to really make it look very like in depth. I just like what they ended up doing. I did tweak several things on here as well, not really several, but they had their photo more towards the center of the page, and then they had the journaling going out to the left. I really preferred the photo being more to the left and the journaling coming out to the right and kind of leading into this big embellishment detail on the right side of the page. So that is why I decided to scooch it over a little bit. Now I'm trying to pull out all the stickers from the sticker sheet that I can see that they have used, so all the ephemera is in front of me, and then I can go through the process of sticking them all down. Both of these butterflies I put up on some foam, and then a couple of the floral details I'll put up on some foam. But I do move a couple of these things around just because I did decide to scooch the photo over a little bit. But that, that was a me thing. I just like that. That looked better to my eye with how I do my layouts. So I know those two butterflies are going to go somewhere over there to the left of that top photo. And now I am popping up a few of the floral elements I know will have dimension. This floral piece here goes over the identical floral that's printed on the background. So I really wanted that piece to have some dimension. Otherwise, there would kind of be no point layering it over the exact same floral that's already there. So I want you to see its dimension. It's popped up. It's not a part of the printed background. And I really like that. And there will be a sticker that goes over that I will put a little foam on the end of it so it can lay flat against the floral. But I'm just layering the stickers and the embellishment that goes behind that piece. I just love how much texture that adds. There's that little Just the Sweetest sticker, which is super cute. And now I'm doing the other floral bits that they have kind of layered around. So this was a more simplistic cluster than the last page, but because it's this on top of the printed paper, which is super detailed, it kind of gives you that same feel. So I really like that. These two pages will be next to each other in the book, but they're not technically companion pages, but I think they'll still look really good next to each other. I am going through, I'm trying to see what I'm doing right now. I think I'm just sticking out a couple more things. But you can see I decided to move the little journaling spot to the right of the photos versus the left where they had it. But because I did that, I wanted a couple more layery things behind that. So I did add a glassine bag and a doily, which I also think is nice because I did add a glassine bag and doily to the first page too. So now that element is on both pages, but it just needed something. I didn't like how the little notebook journaling spot was just by itself without any layers. So it makes my eye happier having stuff behind it. But I really like how it's all laying out. I wanted to make sure I was really happy with it before I stuck down the photo and kind of committed to this journaling piece being somewhere else. But I like it, so I'm going to go ahead and just stick everything down. I did, if I have it, then I will ink this little journaling piece in that green as well. The white journaling piece on top of the glassine bag, on top of the doily, was a lot of white layers, so I wanted a little bit of definition. Here I am, inking it in that green, just to, there's a little bit of definition, so it's not all blending together. But I do like how that looks. And then I'll layer a couple butterflies. The butterflies I was planning on happening up on the upper left-hand photo, or to the left of the upper photo. I decide to not have up there and actually bring down by my journaling piece. I just thought it looked a little bit too plain and needed some embellishment. And I didn't really feel like not having those butterflies up there by the photo would make that area look too plain because the photo is pushed over more, so there's not as much real estate that needs to be filled. So you'll kind of see I tweak that as well, but that makes me happier just having all this embellishment to the right here. So yeah, I'll move those butterflies. I think that looks cuter. So I'm trying to decide if I want to commit to that, but at this point I've pretty much done their layout. I'm just trying to finish it out how I want. I am going to do some journaling in some green. This is the Stampin' Up! Marker called Lucky Limeade, which was a really good green match to my ink. So all I'm writing is Snuggles with Grandma, you are so cuddly, and we just love your baby rolls, June 2021. Which I thought was a nice little, nice little, like, it pointed out to both photos what it's about, and he's just so cute in that top photo with all of his rolls. But same as that first layout I did, I am going to pull in my Hobby Lobby blue enamel dots, and I'm actually only going to do one cluster with those because after pulling in the black thickers on the first layout and kind of embellishing with the black periods, I kind of wanted to do the same thing on this one. I really like the way those black elements add dimension and just boldness. So I really only do one enamel dot, and then I go into my black thickers. I pull in this little word sweet, which I thought was adorable, and it kind of plays off of that little sticker I added earlier that says just the sweetest. And then this is where I'm going in with all of the foam dots. I kind of went too crazy with them, and I was like, this is looking like too wild. I need to spread them out a little bit because I like how they look spread out on the first page. So I'm really just going to add, I think, 5 scattered amongst the vertical embellishment cluster to the right here. And then this cluster of 3 that's above the enamel dots, or the journaling, I decided to switch to enamel dots. So I like how that looks a lot better. It looks more balanced. It got too crazy, too fast the other way. But I think this is the perfect balance here. And that way all these different textures and colors are kind of balanced with the first page, but it still stands as a single page on its own. And I think we're pretty much done. So this was a quick and easy one too, but I love all the different texture and dimensions. So these are the 2 pages together, and here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.